Welcome back, and thank you for keeping it NTV. You are still watching NTV Weekend Edition, and this is Talk of the Nation. Now, a study released by Uwezo has indicated that only 2% of learners across the country have developed vital problem-solving skills. This follows a study by Alive on why many youth are unable to solve critical life problems. Is it poor upbringing, schooling, or the environment they find themselves in? Well, to help us appreciate this, we do have Farida Nasedeka of Uwezo. Good evening and welcome to Talk of the Nation.
Good evening, thank you.
Happy to be here.
Let us start with an overview of the intention or why Uwezo felt the need to carry out this assessment, this survey or study, and what are some of the specifics that you were looking out for?
Okay, so this assessment of life skills and values, looking at issues related to problem solving, self-awareness, respect as a value, and collaboration, was conducted in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania under the Regional Education Learning Initiative that brings together 70 plus organizations that are involved in improving the quality of education in the Greater East African region. So we conducted this assessment specifically in Uganda together with the Luigi Giussani Institute of Higher Education to find out whether actually young adolescents aged 13 to 17, young people are having skills that we called life skills and values, and in that we categorize them in 3 life skills and 1 value. The 3 life skills were problem solving, self-awareness, and collaboration, and 1 value of respect, because these are critical in our everyday lives, in the lives that these young people lead when they are in the communities, in schools, and also the fact that there is emphasis on generic skills, especially with changes that are happening in the curriculum, looking at the new lower secondary school curriculum, and also to situate and look at the spaces. How do we have these young people engage meaningfully with opportunities, both locally, nationally, and internationally?
Do you think this is this kind of assessment should be incorporated in our school curriculums?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it's very, very important, and the government has already done so through the Ministry of Education with the lower secondary school curriculum, because of the importance of these skills to the lives of these children, to enhance what is being taught in school with the cognitive skills. These also counter-effect the skills that are already being enhanced in.
And also
children.
like looking at the learners' performance, do you think these life skills also have a great contribution to the learners' overall performance in school?
Exactly. When you look at issues related to collaboration and the emphasis, especially with the lower secondary school curriculum, for these learners to work together. If one does not have the skills of collaboration, then they are doomed to
so it is
losing it
specifically
out.
trying to like teach young people how to coexist?
Coexistence, living together, respecting each other, having regard for others, yeah, and then
like
you know, solving problems that one might encounter in their everyday life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in the study, it finds that among other things that 42% of adolescents are unable to read and comprehend an O-level English text. Is this attributed to the lack of these skills? And if so, how can they be addressed?
And not necessarily that these are attributed to
lack of the
life skills and values, but they kind of contribute to enhancing the other skills. For example, if you look at the skill of collaboration or the skill of problem solving, if you look at the other side where we also checked on the ability to read a text, actually it was for primary 4, where the majority of them were unable, and these age groups are 13 to 17, majority of them were unable to read and comprehend such a text. And when you look at the other angle of the life skills and values, and you try to look at, for example, the collaboration, if I am unable to read, can I seek support of someone else to help me? And
you should be okay to do that.
Exactly. And if I also have the skill of self-awareness, I would not make my emotions override the help that I need to seek from, say, you, and know that, okay, now this is this. If I am weak in this area, I am seeking support of another person.
Well, this seems to be an effort for very many different stakeholders, including the parents. How do you intend to engage the parents in, skilling the children? Because I want to give an example of, first of all, is this assessment carried out both in the rural and urban areas?
Yes, the scope of our assessment was in 20 districts.
Yes.
And these 20 districts were nationally representative. We looked at districts in the north, districts in Karamoja, districts in the eastern, western, southern, and central. And both had an aspect of rural and urban representation. So when we engaged with these young people, it was actually also a household-based assessment for both in and out of school young people.
Young people.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you look at issues related to how they impact, how the life skills impact on their everyday life. I don't know whether I've gotten the question right, but do you need... So how they relate with all these issues, and the fact that the curriculum points at not only enabling learners in urban and disadvantaging the rural. All these are supposed to be of benefit to all.
Well, my point actually was on the parents. And how do you intend to engage them? Because given the urban setting especially, you will find that parents spend less time, some parents spend less time with their children given their busy schedules. So in a scenario like that, how do you intend to carry out this kind of training, assessment, or bring it back home?
One of the key issues that we need to realize about these life skills and values is that they're nurtured right from the early ages, right from when the parent conceives the child, has the child, and engages and interacts with this child at home. The parents are the mirrors of these children. So how I behave at home, even if in the very little time, will be reflected in the way my child will also deal with different aspects.
Someone yesterday made a comment that children are actually copycats.
Exactly. So if I don't have regard for others, and that is where we come in with the aspect of respect. If I don't have regard for others, and I'm this kind of parent who in the morning will not even say a word to my neighbor, or if I am driving and I just block the road, then, and I am with this child in the car, we are going to school, then the child will also see that as, normal behavior. So if I am in wrong, how do I address that? So the way my child will see that done is the way they will also grow up. So all these are nurtured. And even in schools, if at home the role is not being done, these children spend a lot of time in home and in society. So if at school, the teacher who's taking on the role of educating this child is also supposed to be a mirror. If they do not have those life skills, and then they stand in front of a class and are supposed to be mentoring and guiding these children in their life journey of education, then the child is also going to see the teacher's behavior, and they would think it is normal, and that will be
yeah, you've talked about the teachers taking on the mantle of teaching the life skills. Do you think our teachers qualify to do this? Are they trained enough to carry out the teaching of these life skills?
Okay, so when we look at the results and what they point to us, When you look at, for example, about just 19% of the learners or the children we engaged with, both those who are in and out of school, demonstrating that they can collaborate well. And here we meant communicating. We looked at them discussing and negotiating and working together for a common goal. And when you look at what is being done in school and the way these children are taught, do the teachers deliberately take on that role of ensuring they nurture these children to be able to work together, to express themselves, and at the end of it all, then deliver on the tasks that have been given, be it the academic work, they would need to work together. So it stems right from how the teachers in college have been trained. If this is not being done in the colleges and there are gaps there with who is actually also teaching the would-be teachers, then it all stems back into the classroom.
Well, thank you so much, Farida Nasarika from Uwezo, for sharing those amazing remarks. And of course, problem-solving skills or life skills is something that will, apply to all of us. Though it is something that we need to, start from the roots, that is from the children, because then they will know how to coexist with one another in the community. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We take a break and return with NTV Weekend Edition.